Hello, I'm back. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to see if anybody joins. I'm waiting to see if YouTube picks this up. Cut me off a sentence. and it's not a Survivor recap because sadly Survivor is not on. But that's all right because I like doing the Survivor recaps. I hope other people like them. Very few people watched them, but maybe the people that watched it really loved it. Maybe, maybe not. You know. But it's not on. I'm not doing Survivor recap. So Thursdays at lunch or at my work, it's typically a time where we treat ourselves to a lunch. We go out to eat. And we went out to eat today, and some little restaurant thing. And of course, this conversation just goes to pieces. So I asked somebody at lunch, Ryan at lunch, said, "What should I talk about?" And so he kind of picked the topics tonight. May or may not be here, but I'm going to talk about them anyway. Sushi and colonoscopies. Yeah. Are they related in some way? Man, I don't think so. But the only thing it relates them to is sometimes they get talked about, maybe at a lunch. You never know. So, while I peddle my wares, let's just say if you like the video or live stream, leave me a comment, subscribe, get the notification bell turned on, and tell everybody you know. Tell people you don't know. Go up to the Walmart greeter. If there's such a thing anymore, I don't know. Last time I was at Walmart, I didn't see a greeter. Did I? I think the greeter's the same person that checks everybody's bags as they're leaving to make sure that, I don't know, that they didn't leave anything. It's crazy. But anyway, tell a stranger. Tell a perfectly good strange stranger about the Minutes with Milo show, Thursdays and Mondays, or Mondays and Thursdays, and 9 o'clock. May not be on the same day, but it's always at 9 o'clock. So, here we go. Colonoscopies and sushi. So how did that ever get started? How was that ever a topic? Well, let me tell you. I am old. A lot of people are old. A lot of people need colonoscopies. And if you've never had a colonoscopy and you don't know what one is, then don't worry about it because you're far, far away from having one. But if you're fortunate enough to have one or two or three or half a dozen, then you know what we're talking about. So, why talk about it? Because it's need to know. It's just need to know. It's like going to the dentist, man, and getting your teeth cleaned. I hate it, but it's got to be done. In fact, I've got one of those coming up. Man, physicals, dentists, this and that, and other things. Dude, it's busy. It's busy around here. So why sushi? Because what I had and Ryan had for lunch. I like sushi. But maybe I was under kind of a misconception and Ryan was looking at me like I was crazy. I'm just uninformed sometimes. I was under the impression that pretty much sushi was most of the time raw seafood, fish, tuna, salmon. I mean, not always. Okay, so we're going to look in that. And I've got some tips for people that are going to have colonoscopy, or maybe you've had a colonoscopy and you didn't like it. Tip number one, I didn't like it either. What don't you like about it? Now that's a good question. So let's just start off with that. What don't you like about a colonoscopy? Besides the thought of somebody looking at your innards through a camera that they run up your, how do you say that? Not your opinion. Because they say everybody has one of each. They have an opinion and an asshole. So, maybe I shouldn't say that word because I think YouTube might be a little picky about that word. So, maybe they'll bleep it out. Maybe they'll send me a warning and say, you need to bleep it out. So let's just call it a hole. A hole in your body that's down under. It's like an Australian a-hole, right? A down under a-hole. Let's call it the Australian hole. They'll probably get mad if somebody from Australia watches this. Yo, mate, I'm going to come over there and kangaroo your face. Anyway, besides the fact that you don't like that idea that you're being inspected from the inside, you know, from the outside, from down under, what don't you like about the colonoscopy? Well, I'm telling you, this is my own personal opinions. I am not a doctor. Never played one. Well, maybe years ago I played one. But anyway, that's for a different conversation. Anywho, this is just my opinion. It is not medical fact. It is not medical advice. It is not carved in stone and the gospel according to Minutes with Milo. It is not that. It is my opinion. So, take it, leave it, flush it, write it down, do whatever you want to with it. So, the prep. What people don't like about colonoscopy is the prep. What is the prep? Well, if you know anything about a colonoscopy, it's basically going into your, I guess your large intestine is all it goes. It doesn't go all the way up into your belly. It'll be a long, long, long journey. But they check the large intestine for problems in colon cancer. Good thing. You need to be checked. Okay? So, that being said, it has to be clean in there. Not just, okay, clean. Not just like, I wiped today. Is that clean enough? No. Oh, no. That's not clean enough. What's clean enough? Oh, my gosh. Let me tell you. So, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And I don't know if it's still this way or not. I'm going to jump over here real quick. And look. So, if everybody knows, or anybody knows, the motorcycle builder known as Jesse James, or he is Jesse James. That's his real, I guess it's his real name. Monster Garage, all these kind of things. He's kind of an eccentric guy. If you've ever watched those shows, married to Sandra Bullock for a long time, so might be eccentric. But I would say he is dang lucky. Really lucky. So, anyway. Let's see if it is his Twitter. Nope. Pope of Welding is his Twitter. Maybe it's Instagram. Well, let's go at it this way. West Coast Chopper, Motorcycle Builder. Well, I used to follow him, and I thought it was on Twitter. And his handle, moniker, whatever you want to call it, was Butt P. Butt P, not the letter P, P-E-E. All right? So, as I was going through my prep, I thought about him. And if you've ever gone through the colonoscopy prep, you would know why. Because everything that comes out that used to be solid, not like rock solid, but gooey solid, it's just water. You think, oh, that can't be. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Water. Water, water, warm water, but still yet. Water, water, water. So in the prep, the handout your doctor gives you, my doctor gave me, and it probably stands true with a lot of doctors. Drink lots of fluids the day before. Okay, let's think of Christmas Eve. So there's Christmas Day, there's Christmas Eve, and then there's the day before Christmas Eve. So there's the day of the procedure. There's the day before the procedure, and then there's the day before the procedure. Day before procedure, drink lots of fluids that day. Day before procedure, drink 8 ounces every hour of water. Strictly liquid diet the day before. And it's kind of funny they pick liquid diet. You can have Jell-O, which is considered liquid, but no red or purple because it colors the water in your body, the poop water, butt pee water, I don't know, but no red or purple. So you can have Jell-O, you can have chicken broth, you can have beef broth. I had beef stock, and I had it unsalted. And I've got a list, not a list, but some suggestions. Don't get the unsalted. I thought I would be healthier to get the unsalted, and it probably is healthier. But like a lot of things that are healthier, it tastes healthy. It's not real tasty. But heat it up, and if you're on a liquid diet, you heat up beef stock. And I bought the stock. Is there a difference? Yeah, I don't know what it is between broth and stock. So I bought the stock because I thought, and it was unsalted. It really is not that bad. It's kind of like soup with no chunks in it. But anyway, day before. 5 days before. Now, it's an interesting topic. It's a butt burner, I'm telling you. So, 5 days before the actual event, I was limited to very, I won't say few. There was things that I couldn't have. Raw vegetables, no salads. No salads. 5 days before, no salads. Nothing with seeds. So no tomatoes, no cucumbers, no raw vegetables at all. No nuts, no beans, no lentils. Nothing with a skin. So like, a tomato has a skin and seeds. Whoop, out, out, double time, out. Can't do that. And I guess a lot of this is because it stays in your colon, apparently, at least 5 days, because that's where it was. So 5 days out, you got to start watching your diet pretty close. And it's hard. You look at things going, does this have a skin? I gave up salsa. You wouldn't think it was like, salsa. But you start thinking about it. Good salsa has little chunks of things. If you were to take salsa and pour it into a cup and fill it with water and start stirring it around, you would probably see lots of little pieces of skins, vegetable skins, maybe some seeds. No, 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 no. Can't have that. No, no popcorn. Those kind of things. The things that stick with you. Okay? No corn, probably. I didn't go that far. So anyway, that's 5 days out. Day before, strictly liquid diet, Jello, water, and as long as it didn't have the red or purple color, you could have the little things that you put in your water, Crystal Light or Gatorade. Drunk a lot of Gatorade. Yeah. Pick the sugar free just because you're drinking a lot of it. They want you to do 8 ounces of liquid per hour. It's a lot. And it's a lot. And the reason they're doing that is because, brother, when it hits you, it's all liquid. And that's what they want. Basically, think of it as taking your colon, sticking a water hose in it, and flushing it out. That is what colonoscopy prep is like. And it's warm water because your body heats it. It's heated. And it's mixed with stomach acid usually. So it's quite burnful. Alright? No beers. No alcohols. The day before, no beers. Nope. No 12 ounces at Time Bud. Nope. No alcohol. It's really weird. And I don't have to worry about it. I'm relatively healthy. So I don't really take blood pressure medicine, thinners, any of those maintenance type medicines, diabetes medicine. That just adds a whole nother level of complexity to this. No multivitamins with iron. I mean, I don't know. Is it really necessary? I don't know. I've never looked up somebody's a-hole with the camera. I don't know. But that's what my doctor wanted. So that's what he got. But it's a warm water shoved into like your body and it comes out and it just runs. I mean, it's not supposed to be like that. Your brain goes, no, 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 no. Oh gosh, no. What are you doing? You just can't help it. Why can't you help it? I'll tell you why you can't help it. So the prep starts like technically it started at 3 o'clock. They give you a prescription for nausea medicine because it's rough on you. There's some more than others. But at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the day before, you can take a nausea pill. Then at 4, you take 2 laxative pills. They give you the brand, tell you what it's going to be. You take 2 of those. All right, so that's 4 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, you have to drink 32 ounces of Gatorade mixed with, I had to use Miralax. Okay? In an hour. So you buy this 238 gram bottle of Miralax. And if you don't know, Miralax is a laxative and it's in powder form, granular. Finer than salt, but not like powdered sugar or anything. About like sugar, except it's a laxative. All right, in this 238 gram bottle, you're supposed to put the whole thing into a gallon of Gatorade or whatever your mix is, no red or purple. You shake it up, dissolve it. All right, at 6 o'clock, you drink 32 ounces of that. Yeah, 32 ounces. 4 quarts, pint, 16, 64 ounces. So you mix it, not in a gallon, half a gallon. Anyway, you put half a Miralax in a 32-ounce Gatorade. Okay? They don't make 32 ounces anymore. They're 28. So I had to add 4 ounces of water. What a pain in the butt. Okay? So you do that. And I pick different flavors. So at 6 o'clock, you start drinking this. And you've got to drink 8 ounces in 15 minutes. You think, not a problem. 8 ounces, 15 minutes. Well, you've got to drink 4 8-ounce glasses in an hour. And I'm telling you, when you're down to the last one, and it's got this Miralax mixed in with it, it's not really liquid anymore. It's kind of slick. Gives you that, what is that flavor? You know, what is that texture? All right. So you do that. Then you're still drinking. You're supposed to drink water, another liquid on top of that, okay, to really overhydrate your body. Blows you up like a balloon, man. All right, so that was at 6. At 8 o'clock, 2 more laxative tablets. Then at 9 o'clock, you start another round of 32-ounce Gatorade with half the Miralax in it. So just to give you an idea, the 238 grams of Miralax is 14 doses of Miralax. 14 doses. So at 6 o'clock, you got to drink 32 ounces and the Miralax, which is basically 7 doses of Miralax at 6. Then at 9 o'clock at night, you're drinking another 32 ounces of Gatorade with another 7 doses of Miralax in it. And that doesn't even count the fact that you've taken 4 laxative tablets already. And you've drank tons of liquid, water, Gatorade, whatever it is. And I'm telling you, when it hits, it's terrible. Well, there's worse things, yes. I can guarantee you there's worse things. But it's very uncomfortable. And it burns because a lot of that is like stomach acid. I mean, it puts things through in my instructions. It says, don't take any medication after an hour prior, or it will be flushed out. Okay, so that's why they make you take 2 tablets, laxative tablets, at 8, because by the time you get around to 9 and you start drinking that stuff's in your system. So basically, you're drinking 14 doses of Miralax, and I don't know. I didn't look on the box. Laxative tablets, maybe 2's the normal, but you're taking 4 of them. Okay, so it wears you out. It wears you out. So, tips. Prepare. Get it all. I just about forgot to take my 2 laxative tablets at 8 o'clock. All right, so think about it. Set alarms. Drink your stuff quickly in the beginning. Like at the top of the hour, you got to chug that first 8 because you only get 15 minutes. And you would be surprised how easy it is just to sit down and 15 minutes, man, that's forever. Then you get down to the 8 ounces. It's like, that wasn't so bad. And you look at the clock, and dude, you've already supposed to be in on the second 8. You're behind. You are behind. So then you pour another 8 real quick. It's like, wow, I got to start sipping this, and you're taking bigger gulps, and you're doing it really quick. And then, I'm done with that. When you look down, you've got 5 minutes to start the next one. It's never ending. So my suggestion, get the 8, just throw it back, man. Just throw it back. Get it in there. Be done with it. Okay? At the minute it's 15 past the hour, throw the second one down. 2 of them really boom to boom. All right? Your belly's going to be feeling it. But you've got those out of the way. Now you've got 15 minutes that you can relax a little bit. The last 2, bring them down pretty quick, but make sure that you get them in. And then the last one, same deal. Make it pretty quick and be done with it. All right? So that's the reason they give you nausea medicine, I think. It's because you're drinking a lot of fluid. A lot of fluid. 32 ounces in an hour just doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have to do it, it is a lot. Plus, you're mixing the Muralax in with it, makes it thick. Makes it thick, like thick water. So, that's my suggestion. Okay? And when you're sitting down to let all that come out, don't bend over at the waist and do the thinking man pose like this with your elbows on your knees. One thing, your knees will start to hurt. You got to sit up straight. Oh, and it hurts. It hurts. But it's a lot better. It's a lot better flow if you sit up straight and let it happen. Don't bend over. Another thing, don't wait until your body says, dude, you better go now, or there's going to be a big mess. Don't wait for that. I'm here to tell you, once you finish that first round of whatever it is you've got, Easy Go or Muralax or whatever it is, when you start feeling full, you know what I mean, if you start feeling bloated a little bit, and you start feeling like, man, I got to loosen my pants. That's an awful lot of water. Go sit down on your toilet, take your phone, take a book, take something, relax, and let it flow. Because if you end up like me, and it's 9 o'clock, and it hits you all at once, by the time it's 12:30, you're not done. All right? You're not done. And depending on your time of your appointment, I wanted the earliest time I could get there. That means I had to be there at 6:30, procedure at 7:30. I had to get up at 5. But I got like 3-4 hours sleep. It sounds crazy, but it's hard to control. So take precautions. I was petrified that I would crap the bed. So, take precautions. Buy yourself some baby wipes. Not the flushable kind, because they are not flushable. Don't put that flushable in your septic system, in the sewer system, especially if you have older plumbing that's metal piping. No, it will clog you up, or the plumbing up. So, have a place that you can use them and dispose of them, and then tie that bag up and throw it away later. But wipes, you don't want to be trying to wipe your bum with toilet paper. It will never happen, and you'll die 1,000 deaths. Don't do that. Get you some nice baby wipes. Treat yourself, because it's going to be painful. And then Don't do what I did. When it's over and you're going home and you're hungry because it's still breakfast, don't stop and get like a big bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, egg McMuffin with a coffee. Because it don't take but about 5 or 10 minutes for that to be gurgling around in your belly, wanting out. So be careful what you eat. Ease into it slow. And don't think you'll be 100% better by the end of the day. If you make it through and you're 100% better by the next day, consider yourself lucky. Because that stuff hits you and it stays with you. All right? So that was one topic. The other was sushi. Does sushi give you diarrhea? Potentially. Be careful. Have good sushi. I like it. But I was under the impression, and Ryan set me straight, that sushi was made with raw fish. And that's not always the case. Not always the case. So, what is made with raw seafood almost exclusively is sashimi. S-A-S-H-I-M-I. I'm going to say it sashimi. Sashimi is very thinly sliced raw meat, usually fish, such as salmon or tuna. It's served without rice. Sushi is not raw fish, but rather Vanguard rice that is rather Vanguard rice is mixed with other ingredients which may or may not include raw fish. So, I mean, I always thought, yeah, you can get like a vegetable California roll or whatever it is. It's got guacamole and some different things like that. So, it doesn't contain any raw food in it, but you do get some, and I think what I looked up here was sushi. Where did I see? I think your salmon, your tuna, spicy tuna, those kind of things do include the raw fish. But your California rolls, some of these other ones, they don't. Or sometimes the fish may be cooked, or seafood like oysters or shrimp or squid or something like that may be cooked. But if you get the sashimi, apparently it's mostly all raw ingredients, fish, whatever. Let's see, is there such a thing as cooked sushi? Technically, standard sushi is rice, so all sushi is partially cooked. If you mean a seafood flourish to sushi, today you'll regularly see rolls with I hate when they do that. They give want this. I can't find what that guy was talking about now. So crab is cooked, eel is cooked, almost always poached or steamed. Shrimp is occasionally served raw, but almost always cooked. So I was just, like I said, under the impression that sushi contained raw ingredients. But I like sushi. And it doesn't have to be raw. So, but it usually comes with ginger and wasabi. And, sometimes it comes with teriyaki sauce or, what's the more salty one? Not teriyaki, but soy sauce. Comes with some soy sauce and all that. Wasabi just melts my brain. So I have to eat it very, very conservatively because it just hits me hard. And what do I mean by hits me hard? Well, it sets my sinuses on fire, my nose runs, and I usually have a sneezing fit because it's just all these vapors up in my sinuses. It hits me hard. So, does my stomach hurt? No, not usually, because I can't eat enough of it to make my stomach hurt. Because it just, I don't know. To me, it's the fumes, the vapors. So, I don't know if people pay attention. I pay attention sometimes. And especially when you're eating, like me, anything that has horseradish or wasabi, and I think wasabi is basically horseradish. Depending on how you breathe when you're eating it, depends on what happens. So, if I eat wasabi, I try to inhale, put the food in my mouth, chew it up, and as I'm chewing it, I'm exhaling. So the fumes and the vapors don't get into my sinuses. But if I take a bite and it's kind of in a neutral position, whether I'm breathing in or out, it'll go right into my nose. Now, not out this way, but in the back, up that way. As you're eating it, as you're chewing it, it just travels up into my sinuses and it just literally blows my brain. But I like it, so I'll eat it, but I'm very careful how I eat it. So that doesn't happen because I don't like sitting at lunch with my nose running and sneezing all the time. Nobody else does either. They don't want to see that, hear that, all that. But I like sushi. I'll buy sushi any place that looks like it's relatively clean and well prepared. Now, there are ways to tell by poking the ingredients and stuff, but you've already bought it by then and you're going to take it back. You probably should and say, I believe this is not fresh. I want my money back. Places may or may not do that. But the place we went has a sushi chef, sushi chef, that makes this stuff all the time. Anytime the restaurant's open, apparently, they have a sushi chef there, and they have their own roll. And of course, they have like the California rolls and some of those other ones. So it was really good. I enjoyed it. I tried to eat with chopsticks. I always try to use those things because you need the practice. I had ginger, a little wasabi. I didn't put any soy sauce on it because I don't like the salty. It's just too salty for me. And it was good. It's a pretty good size roll, I guess. It wasn't spicy, except for the wasabi. And I've had spicy tuna or spicy salmon or whatever. And, it can be fairly potent. But that's me and Ryan had that conversation. Is it always raw? No. In fact, it's mostly cooked all the time. I thought, well, that's a bunch of BS. I thought sushi was raw stuff. No, it's not. And when I say raw, I'm not talking about, it's the special rice. They cook it, they pack it, and that's what makes the roll. And then I know they use seaweed and maybe other vegetables. I was talking about probably the meat that was used in it was raw, specifically fish, raw fish. So So obviously that's not the case. I was wrong, and that's fine. I learned something. I still like sushi. Whether it's raw or cooked, the meat, I like it. And I wanted something different because, I mean, this place has lots of good burgers, everything like that. I don't know. I like to try something different. So one of the other guys that was with us had this, it was battered, buttermilk battered chicken dinner. And raw oysters, I'm afraid of raw oysters. I've had them at the beach when you can almost bet they were fresh. But I don't know. The thing I like about sushi is I can eat tuna and I had sardines and salmon and all that stuff. And I'm slightly used to the fishy flavor. But I have the time that I ate raw oysters, and I know a lot of people put hot sauce in. And one thing I don't put a lot of credence into this, but I almost hesitate to say it's the texture as much as it is the texture. I don't know how else to put it. It's, and the ones that I had, and they say they're not supposed to be like this, but the ones I had in Florida that time at a decent restaurant that were raw, of course they bring them out in the shell. I've seen people, slurp them right out of the shell, but not me. Little hot sauce, Tabasco sauce, fork, get them, and I can't help but chew my food, if not a bunch, at least some. And when I did the oysters and munched down on them a couple, 3 times, you could hear the little grains of sand in there. I don't like that. And almost every one of them that I had, and that wasn't dozens or any kind of BS like that, but they had bought a big, like an appetizer tray full of them. And so, people were eating them. And I may have had 3 or 4, but they were almost all had grit to them, sand to them. I thought it was sand. I mean, I didn't ask the waiter or anything or pull them open and start looking at it. So, a couple of chomps, swallow it, wash it down. Waller and swaller. See, that's just, I have a hard time with that. But I did it. It's not something that I would, I wouldn't go to the restaurant and think, man, I hope they got good raw oysters here. I'm just not there. I'm just not there. Now, I have been to the beaches and had, sushi, and it was good. And I don't think I've really had any real bad sushi because I've never gotten sick from it. Sometimes I don't like the taste of certain things. I mean, seaweed's okay, but I haven't had sushi that I've hated. Some like better than others, I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to go to a raw oyster bar, but I might go out of my way if somebody said, "Oh man, this sushi in this place is spot on fresh and it's really great." And I was like, "Well, okay, let's go try that." So, probably both are at the same place if you're going that route, especially at the beach. If they've got one, they may have the other. So, I've had, I can't remember, they were deep fried squid, maybe deep fried octopus, which was really weird because they were only like, I don't know, man, just like quarter-sized deals, with the tentacles and they were batter dipped and deep fried. Those are kind of chewy, but not bad. So, I like to try the different things, but I don't know. So sushi was a topic, and a lot of people don't like sushi. A lot of people, don't like lots of things. So, but I would almost say everybody would agree if you've had one that you wouldn't really like colonoscopies. And I had forgotten, because it had been several years since I'd had one. And another thing, if you're going to have one, they say don't wear jewelry and all that stuff. For sure. Okay, so I wore comfortable shoes, Crocs, so they're easy to get on and off. Some sweatpants, because they're easy to get on and off, and a t-shirt. And they let you keep your socks on and give you a gown, and that is it. And everything's in a bag, and you put that stuff in a bag with a little drawstring, a little old plastic thing, and they put it under the gurney, and that's where it's supposed to stay. It rides with you in there, it rides with you out, and it's there in your recovery room. Calamari. Calamari, I know, that's the raw squid. Is it raw or cooked? Maybe it was calamari. Let's see. Maria. No. How did you spell it? What's it? Let's see what that says. Okay. Squid, lemon, flour, black pepper, vegetable oil. Yeah. Calamari is actually made from a type of squid. Now, I don't know if what I had was calamari or not, because like I said, it was deep fried. And it wasn't the tentacles, it was the whole little thing, and it was just like baby sized. This gets into things that I don't adhere to, flavors and lightness and darkness and heavies and light tones. So, yeah, calamari is squid, not octopus. So I don't think they have a fancy name for octopus. You just say, give me some octopus. So calamari is Italian for squid. And it's usually referred to in the United States as refers to a battered and deep fried appetizer. So I think that's what I had down at like North Myrtle Beach or Murrells Inlet or something like that one time. But it wasn't bad. I mean, I eat scallop. I really like scallops. And, oysters if they're cooked and, that kind of stuff. So, but, and sushi. I like sushi. So, one of the things that I started this show with, there's crazy things that we'd talk about at lunch. So, I'd been doing, like I said, the Survivor reviews on Thursday night, and that was just what we talked about at lunch. And that's what Ryan said. Hey, you got to talk about colonoscopies and sushi. So why not? I mean, it all started out about crazy stuff that we talked about during our lunch times together, and this was just one of the things. And I usually find out something. I mean, I find them interesting conversations because it's just crazy stuff. And whoever talks about, colonoscopies and sushi in your 45-minute lunch period? Nobody. Not that I can ever think of. Maybe everybody does, but I don't. So, Clell, I appreciate you coming. I don't know what happened to Robert. Well, I know what happened to Robert. So he may not be at home. But I've got a sinking suspicion that he had priorities different than watching the show tonight because he's got to think he's going on call this coming week. So, appreciate Clell coming. Anybody that's watching, appreciate you. It just shows there's two people, so I'm assuming that that's me and Clell. It won't tell me, oh my gosh, why did I do that for? Makes it full screen. Today's Tom Sawyer. If you're watching it afterwards and you've made it this far, like I said, you're a glutton for punishment. My hat's off to you. Give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell your friends, tell everybody you know, tell your pastor, tell your churchgoers. Got to watch. Silly, stupid things are talked about here, and it's a good diversion. Don't talk about heavy stuff unless you consider a colonoscopy to be heavy, and it's just a pain in the butt. So, thank you again, Clell. Bye-bye. So, everybody say bye-bye. It's been 51 minutes. Anyway, maybe this weekend I will boil something in oil. Boil. Hey, there's Robert. Have you been lurking this whole time? When did you come in? You didn't say hey. You don't know. Sorry, no. You haven't been lurking the whole time, you just now got here. Is that what you're saying? But that's fine. That's fine. You made it. You thought about it. You probably said, oh my gosh, I missed it. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch the whole stupid thing just to find out if he talked bad about me. No, didn't talk bad about you. Not until just now. So anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks Robert, Clell. Everybody have a sweet dream night. Bye.